Did you know that each year brands lose a significant amount of money due to returns on Amazon? Stay tuned to learn how you can maximize these losses and then maximize your profits. Welcome, I'm Becky with Fluency. In today's video, we're going to dig into the world of Amazon FBA returns and refunds. Now, understanding this process, this is really crucial for businesses like yours to navigate the challenges and to ensure that customer satisfaction is happening across all of your sales channel. And I know, especially for Amazon, profits are already a little bit slimmer because of FBA fees. So I want to share with you some tips that I think you'll find very helpful. Now, one of those biggest challenges faced by brands selling on Amazon is the FBA returns and refunds. Not only can it impact your profit margins, but it's also going to play a crucial role in maintaining that customer satisfaction. So you want to efficiently handle those issues, and that's going to be key to driving sustainable growth and ensuring that seamless customer experience. So let's explore the step-by-step process of how Amazon FBA returns and refunds even work. From understanding Amazon's policies, their timelines, to then addressing the common issues that are going to arise during that process, that's going to be helpful and essential to really manage your returns effectively for your business. Now, Amazon has specific timelines and processes to ensure that they're handling returns efficiently. Remember, this is when Amazon is handling the returns. So customer initiated returns. Customers obviously have that return that's typically within a 30-day delivery, except during Q4, you're going to notice the return window is actually going to be a little bit different. So keep that in mind for when the return happens. Now, then once they receive it, it's called receipt and inspection. Amazon is going to inspect the returned items within 48 hours typically of receiving them at their fulfillment center. Then there's going to be the refunding processing. So FBA refunds, they're typically going to be processed within 2 business days after they've been inspected. And that will decide by default if you're using this, as FBA, obviously, if the product is sellable or unsellable. Now, if it's unsellable, that's going to be marked as unsellable and as such within your FBA inventory, and you're not going to be able to sell it. You're going to either have to get it disposed of, or you can get it returned to a location of your choice, like a warehouse. And if it's sellable, Amazon will then put it actually back into your sellable inventory at their warehouse. That's important to note. So another quick tip is Amazon does allow you to update who evaluates your returns if you notice a high return rate. So this may be something to look into further if you're continuing to get complaints maybe on orders about the product looking open, or if they say it looks used, and you can actually change it to get returned items to be returned to maybe you want it to your warehouse where they can inspect it further, because maybe they know your product a little bit better. Now, that's obviously not ideal for it to happen that way, but that could be necessary to mitigate kind of getting a lot of negative reviews when those would be unnecessary to get. Now, also, if there is a new return tabs feature inside the Opportunity Explorer inside Seller Central, and you can then use that to review what are most customers mentioning as the reason for their return. You can use that for your product development team. You can also use that to update your listing if the content needs to be updated further. And if you're updating your listing, for instance, you'll definitely want to watch this video here on 5 things that you may need to change on your listings. And I think you'll find that video very helpful. So some of the common issues in returns and how to address them. So they could be getting incorrect or damaged items. So you want to ensure that the products are accurately described on your listing and that they're securely packaged so that you can avoid returns that are due to maybe discrepancies with what your listing says or damage. Also, did you know that if the returned item is marked as the carrier damage disposition, meaning that it was damaged at some point by a carrier, either during your receiving, when you first sent it in, or if it's going to a customer or back to Amazon when a customer is returning it, it might be eligible for reimbursement. So for example, for one client last month, we were able to get over $5,000 back in reimbursements, and a small portion of those were due to damage by carrier returns. So something else that you're going to want to think about is customer education. You want to give really clear instructions for your products and good product information so that you can reduce returns that are resulting from maybe customers being confused or misusing your product. This is where additional resources, or you could do product inserts with QR codes, that could really help. And QR codes, for instance, you could lead them to a video that's giving a tutorial of how to use your product. And that can be helpful depending on your primary demographic or of who's shopping on Amazon for your product. So don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more valuable tips to help your brand profitably sell on Amazon. Now let's dig into more. So let's now focus in on strategies and tips to handle returns and your refunds efficiently. You want to really streamline the return process. Now, simplifying the return process for customers to really give them an enhanced satisfaction, also to make sure that they're getting a quicker resolution. If you use FBA, like I've primarily been talking about, Amazon is going to handle that process for you. If you use FBM, this is something that you'll want to kind of review further. If you want to learn about the differences between FBA and FBM, you can watch this video that I did here, and I talk about deciding which one is best for your brand. Next, think about using customer feedback. You're going to want to actively seek and really look through the feedback to identify, are there reoccurring issues happening? How can you be improving your product? This is really helpful to ensure that your brand isn't losing profits for high returns that are due to something that you're able to change maybe on the listing, or giving customers further education on using your product if they're wanting to return it because they just don't know how to use it the right way. Also, we work with a lot of brands that are in the natural personal care industry and helping customers up front also to understand how to use your product the right way and how long they should be using it to see a difference or kind of results is helpful early on if they can know, so that they can give your product the time it needs. If you have an interesting returns or refund experience or a question, make sure to add that to your comment section below. So automate where possible. You can use Amazon's tools, and third-party softwares even do this, where they can automate your return management, really reducing some of that manual workload and potential errors. And you can set that to where you want returns even sent to, for instance, or if you need to inspect it further, you can update it there as well. Proactive customer support. Reach out to customers that might be likely to return products based on maybe the feedback that they're already giving you, or interactions that might be happening through buyer-seller messaging, and offer resolutions and reduce return rates. This can really help you. This might help to send the correct product, if, for instance, if they got the wrong one, or another solution could be that you're giving them a positive experience overall with your brand. Also, here's a pro tip. If you use FBA, you may start seeing a pattern of the wrong item received. If you ever notice this trend, you'll want to request a bin check from Amazon to ensure that the right product is actually being sent, because there have been cases in our experience where Amazon has incorrectly labeled products once they do get to Amazon's warehouse. Now, that's not very common, but they do work quickly, so that could be happening if you notice a trend. And by staying on top of reading the NCX comments, which is the negative customer experience, you may be able to catch that early enough, like we did for several of our clients this last year. So effective return management is really more than just about issuing refunds. It's also about preserving profits and fostering really good customer loyalty. So when you handle the situation rightly, ultimately you may come out short sometimes, like in the immediate future, but typically if you have additional products, if you have any kind of consumable element to your product line, you'll be able to really help your overall profits long-term on Amazon, because typically you will be helping increase the lifetime value of that customer. Now, I prefer, for instance, replacements over refunds, since you really don't want the customer to not have a chance to use your product and have a positive experience with your brand. So if they're ordering from you on Amazon, and that can really help them if you offer and give them a replacement, like I said, so they can maybe get the right product if they got the wrong product, or get a replacement of the product if it got damaged. This will really help increase the lifetime value of that customer on Amazon and elsewhere. So if you want to grow more repeat customers using Amazon's platform, you'll want to check out this next video here on retargeting customers.